Well, okay. It's actually not even morning here. It's actually afternoon, and I'm finally getting around to doing some sort of commentary on these lessons. We're on number 56 of the review lessons of a workbook of A Course in Miracles. My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. It's an interesting statement in and of itself. Above all else, I want to see. Above all else, I want to see differently. And God is in everything I see. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. There's when after I read these, there was an interesting idea that I don't actually remember seeing the first time I went through these. And now that I do see it, I see how perfectly true it is, and that it really is makes sense. There's a line that says, above all else, I want to see differently. The world I see holds my fearful self-image in place and guarantees its continuance. While I see the world as I see it now, truth cannot enter my awareness. I would let the door behind this world be open for me, that I may look past it to the world that reflects the love of God. And what's interesting for me is there were several times when in the tech crew offering me, when the tech crew sort of works with me, they make a statement and I say yes to it, and then somehow it seems to happen. And on a couple of times when they said, like one of the times that I am, so you are sustained by the love of God. And all of a sudden it was as if a door opened and I was out on the other side of the door, still able to look through the door into the world, knowing the unreality of the world and knowing that the figures in the world weren't really in any sort of reality. And I could still watch myself perform, but it was as if a door had opened and let me step out of the illusion of space and time. And I remember in the initial revelatory period and awakening that I went through, when Jesus said to me, after he said to me, "Are you ready yet to help me save the world?" And I said yes, after having said no earlier on, years ago. He said to me, "You know, you're doing this to yourself." And it was as if as if he took a key, put it in a lock, and unlocked this door that I had no idea was there. And the instant that he unlocked that door, I was beyond space and time. And for lack of a better way to describe the experience, I was in the presence of everything that is divine, holy, sacred, and what we would call God. And I remember standing there, and it was as if Jesus and I were arm in arm, and we began to laugh. I mean, literally laugh at the idea that we were separate and that separation existed. But it was as if, a door that I had no idea was where it was or even that it was there was open for me. And I was beyond the ability for there to even have an illusion exists. Um, that I was back. That I was back. So it's interesting. I don't remember the first time I went through the lessons actually reading that there is this door. I would let the door behind this world be open for me, that I may look past it to the world that reflects the love. There was another interesting idea here too, and it says, above all else, I want to see, recognizing that what I see reflects what I think I am, I realize that vision is my greatest need. The world I see attests to the fearful nature of the self-image I have made. If I would remember who I am, it is essential that I let this image of myself go. As it is replaced by truth, vision will surely be given me. And it's early on in the lessons that we learn that we are image makers. We are the makers of images. In that sense, we make an image for ourselves, and we make an image for our brothers, and we relate to the world as if you are the image and need to protect that image, and that your brothers are the image that you've made of them as well and need to protect those images. The interesting thing about it is, it doesn't matter what image you make or what type of image you make. Everyone is protecting the image of themselves they have made, whether we look on that as a good image, a bad image, a poor image, a rich image, a smart image, a dumb image, immature image, mature image. It's all just imagery. It's all just imagery, and everything we do, and what makes little sense at all, is when you're in a condition of self-loathing and you come to recognize that there's a way in which you're protecting the image of self-loathing, because the image of self-loathing, as all that you know about yourself, is better than an image perhaps that you don't know about yourself, because we become accustomed to our own self-loathing as a condition, and we adapt to it. We adapt to it to the degree that we're willing to put up with the discomfort of any brother who's locked in space and time utilizing any image. As it says in the Course, this world is not your home. This world is not your home. And a condition, a state that is not fundamentally made of the grace of God and by the grace of God and for the grace of God and as the grace of God, is a poor place to attempt to abide, and it will never suffice you, no matter what type of image you're utilizing to exist within this world. So it doesn't matter what image you've made of yourself. At some point in time, you have to let it go. And many of you, whether you're a prince or a pauper, princes try to maintain an image until they secretly walk into their own bedroom and experience, let's say, the tension that's required and the maintenance and the upkeep that they have to utilize, the energy that has to be expended in order to keep that image in place, because they think it is that image that keeps them safe. But God has kept my inheritance safe for me. My own real thoughts will teach me what it is. I mean, it's like you've not lost anything. It's just misplaced. Behind every image I have made, the truth remains unchanged. Behind every veil I have drawn across the face of love, its light remains undimmed. Beyond all my insane wishes, in my will, united with the will of the Father. Beyond all my insane wishes is my will, united with the will of the Father. And when Jesus speaks of the kingdom of heaven, he speaks of the kingdom of heaven as being that place where the will of the Father and the will of the Son is in perfect accord, and that place is always perfectly within you, waiting for you to make the decision to will ye the kingdom, by being willing to give up the necessity for an image. And in a sense, the way it's been spoken about in past traditions, we stand naked before the Lord. And when he says naked, St. Francis did it. St. Francis literally did it. He just dropped all his clothes and said, I don't need this anymore, and walked away. Shocked the whole town because he was a prince. And in the willingness to let go of his image, he found something new about himself, founded a worldwide order, and revitalized the Catholic Church, brought a whole new ethic into the Catholic Church, which again was polluted later on and co-opted, of course. It's the nature of all establishments to co-opt and maintain the establishment rather than to utilize it for a true purpose in an ultimate sense. As we who are part of God, part of Him, will yet look past all appearances and recognize the truth beyond them all. We will. That's a guarantee that's made by Jesus to you personally, assuring you that there will come a point in time when you have suffered enough or seen and experienced the futility of attempting to constantly maintain this image, utilizing the power, all power of the universe, which God has given you to maintain this puny little image, which no matter what it seems to do or be, ultimately gets old, gets sick, and dies. Death, the great equalizer in that sense. In my own mind, behind all my insane thoughts of separation and attack, is the knowledge that all is one forever. And I have not lost that knowledge. It's not lost to you. I have not lost the knowledge of who I am just because I've forgotten it. Remember, this is always referred to, the separation is always referred to not as a loss of perfection, but as a break in communication. And through the relinquishment of the images and all of our ideas as to how we think we need to maintain that image, the break in communication is instantly repaired in moments of experiences that we have with the Holy Spirit. And they're available to you each and every moment until finally you recognize that that is reality and this isn't. And you begin to rely on that more and more and find out that you have always been trusted and trustworthy. And your self-worth has never come from anything in the world, nor what you've taught. As it says in the Course, your value isn't based on what you teach or what you don't teach, what you think about yourself or what you don't think about yourself. Your value is established in heaven, where it is eternal, infinite, and unalterable. So let that image go. Don't hold on to it. When you feel the tension, relax, let go, and let the will of God and the place where your will is in perfect accord with the will of God be what you seek first, rather than utilizing the power of your mind to maintain the image. Begin to learn to utilize the power of your mind to, as Jesus said, to seek ye first the kingdom, and as he says within the pages of the Course in Miracles, will ye the kingdom now.